Have you ever been handed a beautiful present, but instead of feeling grateful, your stomach immediately dropped? Not because you disliked the physical object, but because a very quiet, unexplainable alarm in your head whispered that something was deeply wrong. Behavioral psychology reveals a fascinating truth. A present is rarely just a present. In the complex world of human dynamics, these seemingly innocent gestures frequently conceal heavy emotional debt, unspoken demands, and highly strategic psychological manipulation. Now, while plenty of offerings truly originate from pure love, specific variations exist solely to quietly erode your personal boundaries and compromise your fundamental emotional safety. Here are 5 dangerous types of gifts you should never accept from anyone. The first is presents carrying unvoiced demands. Initially, it feels like pure generosity. Someone covers an expensive dinner, hands you a luxury item, or steps in to help when you didn't even ask. On the surface, it is a kind gesture, but shortly after, you begin to detect minor shifts. They casually mention the favor repeatedly. They subtly expect increased access to your schedule, your focus, or your personal choices. They rarely state it out loud, but their shifting behavior makes it painfully obvious. In behavioral science, this is known as reciprocity pressure. When you receive an item, your natural instinct is to balance the scales. That is standard human bonding. However, when a present is weaponized as leverage, it transforms into emotional debt. And emotional debt is a highly effective control tactic. It forces you to agree to things you genuinely want to decline. A truly healthy offering feels weightless. It demands absolutely zero return. But a manipulative package usually feels like a silent contract you never actually agreed to sign. The second is wildly extravagant gifts from someone you barely know. This tactic flies under the radar because initially it is incredibly flattering. A new acquaintance suddenly showers you with high-value items, cash, or grand gestures within weeks of meeting. But cognitive psychology demands we ask one critical question: why the rush? Secure, stable connections, whether friendships or romances, always build value gradually as trust naturally deepens. When an individual attempts to shortcut that emotional intimacy using expensive offerings, it is often a strategy for fast attachment. It instantly creates a severe psychological imbalance. You end up feeling dazzled, highly obligated, and deeply guilty if you cannot reciprocate their level of financial investment. This traps you in what experts call overcommitment bias, where you remain tied to a person simply because your brain feels you owe them for their generosity. Now, let me be clear, the issue here isn't that expensive items are inherently evil. The issue is the timing and the underlying intent. When immense value arrives too quickly without a solid emotional foundation, it doesn't mean you should panic, but it absolutely requires high-level awareness. The third is offerings presented immediately after a conflict, replacing genuine accountability. This one is psychologically devastating. A person deeply hurts you, violates a clear boundary, or displays toxic behavior, but instead of sitting down to resolve the issue, they suddenly hand you a present, a nice dinner, a shiny object, a sudden favor. Instantly, the narrative flips from "look at how you hurt me" to "look at how generous I am being right now." Psychologists identify this toxic cycle as repair without responsibility. Rather than doing the hard work of emotional repair, the item acts as a convenient shortcut to bypass the discomfort of an apology. But here is the dangerous reality. Destructive behavior does not magically vanish just because it was wrapped in a ribbon. Continual cycles of harm followed by presents cause severe emotional confusion. Your nervous system begins associating mistreatment with affection. You slowly start tolerating unacceptable disrespect simply because a peace offering always follows. A healthy resolution requires accountability first, changed behavior second, and maybe a present later. But a physical item can never replace taking real responsibility. The fourth is items specifically designed to isolate you from your network. This variation is incredibly subtle and predominantly happens in intimate dynamics. It often looks like a partner or friend constantly giving you things that silently breed dependency. They insist on paying for absolutely everything so you never need to work, or they constantly provide solutions so you stop asking anyone else for advice. They wrap you in comfort, but in a way that methodically cuts off your outside connections. Initially, it looks like deep care, but here is the psychological reality. Isolation directly magnifies influence. The fewer outside perspectives you have access to, the more hopelessly dependent you become on one single person's version of reality. You stop comparing notes, you stop questioning their logic, and you start relying entirely on them. That is the exact breeding ground for power imbalance. Healthy connections are supposed to expand your universe, not shrink it into a tiny box. If an offering consistently distances you from your support system, your financial independence, or your friends, you need to look very closely at the direction it is pulling you.
The fifth is presents that trigger an unexplained sense of unease. This is arguably the most critical one because it leans entirely on your gut feeling. Objectively, nothing might seem out of place. The item is typical, the giver is smiling, and everything appears perfectly fine on the outside. Yet your physical body responds differently. You experience a subtle tension, a vague sense of pressure, or perhaps even a sudden wave of guilt. Behavioral science identifies this as subconscious pattern recognition. Your brain is quietly registering microsignals, shifts in tone, awkward timing, or a history of inconsistent behavior that your logical mind hasn't pieced together yet. We frequently brush past this sensation because we fear appearing impolite or unappreciative. But here is the immediate reality check you cannot afford to skip. If your body is constantly sounding these silent alarms around a specific person, ignoring it is no longer an option. You need to establish an emotional boundary right now before that subtle pressure turns into full-blown manipulation. The actionable solution here isn't to confront them instantly. Instead, internally delay your reaction. Say, "Let me think about where to put this," rather than an immediate "thank you." Give your nervous system the required space to decode what is really happening. Because remember, discomfort is vital data. It doesn't automatically equal an immediate threat, but it absolutely requires you to pause and evaluate. Because true emotional security isn't just about the physical item being handed to you. It is about how your nervous system actually reacts to receiving it. A genuinely healthy offering delivers comfort, never confusion.
So where does all of this leave us? This certainly doesn't imply that you should start refusing every package or constantly suspect malicious motives at every turn. Living that way would only generate needless anxiety and push away the people who genuinely care about you. Rather, it is about accepting that gestures of giving are rarely completely neutral. They possess the capacity to transmit emotional weight, whether done deliberately or by accident. The ultimate skill you need to develop is active awareness. Start asking yourself the quiet questions. Does accepting this create a sense of obligation? Does it establish a power imbalance? Is it being used to mask an unresolved argument? Does it separate me from my support system? And above all else, does it make me feel emotionally secure? Because according to psychology, the most resilient and fulfilling connections are never measured by the monetary value of what is exchanged. They are measured by how unconditionally things are offered, with zero desire for control, zero induced guilt, and absolutely zero hidden costs. Ultimately, the most profound boundary you can construct isn't about blocking out genuine kindness. It is about having the clarity to recognize when a seemingly kind gesture is quietly designed to extract far more than it ever provides.